What's up, everybody? This is Fred Ricciani of TSC Gaming, here to give you guys my thoughts on WWE 2K18 Deluxe Edition from 2K Sports and Ukes. We reviewed this game on PlayStation 4 as we've had every single year, but this time around it is also available on the Nintendo Switch, in addition to last year's platforms, Xbox One, Microsoft Windows, and of course the aforementioned PS4. And with the Deluxe Edition, you get a number of downloadable characters, including 2 versions of Kurt Angle, 2 versions of John Cena, and Dave Bautista and Rob Van Dam. You also get access to all the DLC content. You get the Accelerator, which allows you to unlock all the locked items if you want to, rather than have to progress and unlock them. Personally, I like to just unlock them at the beginning. That's what I've been doing for years. And you get a nice My Player Kickstart that allows you to have a good amount of virtual currency to not only provide attributes for your respective character in My Career mode, but it allows you to also purchase taunts and different moves and attires and whatnot. Let's start with one of the cornerstones of most 2K Sports games, My Career mode. Now, the thing that is unfortunate with this is that there is no true face scan feature. On top of that, there is only one gender selection, and at the moment, that is male, which is pretty freaking lame in my humble opinion, especially with all the talk of the women's revolution. I know it's probably a lot of work for a yearly game. I get it, but man, I really would like to see that option in the future. But much like the creation suite that it's intertwined with, My Career, when it comes to customizations, is pretty damn robust, for the names, to the movesets, to the taunts. And if you want to talk about just the creation suite alone, there are so many things to create and edit and modify. Superstars, arenas, championship belts, you name it, they got it. If you go on community creations, you could also download custom-made superstars. You could download custom arenas, custom belts, a little bit of everything. But back to My Career. The good is it has a lot of customization. It allows you to kind of choose your own path, much like previous years. Do you want to be a babyface, a good guy? Do you want to be a bad guy? Or maybe you want to be like Roman Reigns and try to be the guy. The choice is yours with My Career mode. Now here's the bad, and here's where they really lost me. In the ring, not that bad. And in terms of gameplay, if you're not familiar with WWE2K or maybe you're a little rusty, the beginning of My Career mode is a great little tutorial, a great little refresher course to get you back on track. However, these promos that you have to cut, whether it be here or in Universe mode, which we'll get to in a second, whoo, man, they are a little awkward. I get that maybe you can't have voiceovers for every single superstar, but I remember when they first instilled My Career mode, we at least got to hear from Coach Matt Bloom. And the previous year before that, we got to hear from Coach Bill DeMott. Voiceovers go a long way. It's one thing if it's just, regular text dialogue with some random superstars you run into backstage, but your main coach, the main objectives that are the same for everybody else before you make any specific choices, similar to like the Telltale game, I think there should be voiceovers. What is this, a Nintendo game? Well, technically it is a Nintendo game, but that was not always the case, and we did review this on PS4. So the promos were a chore to get through. The exercises themselves, the tutorials, were pretty easy. It is a little weird going backstage, being able to really pick your own role. It's funny because you're more or less acting like your own booker. You have the option of cutting a promo. You have the option of wrestling a match. You have the option of breaking out and attacking the NXT champion, who in the game is Bobby Roode. Now, graphically, you'll see here that these players look really nice. These wrestlers that you play as, man, really nice physiques. Love the arena and lighting effects. But when you're walking around backstage or you see some cutscenes as people are making their entrances, you see a lot of frame rate issues. A lot of screen tearing. Running backstage is so awkward and slow and plodding. I swear, I felt like I was in SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 on PlayStation 2. It was so awkward. And I also don't like the disparity between how realistic the men look and how not so realistic some of the women look. A woman like Asuka, she looks all right, but anybody with longer hair, like Sasha Banks, they tend to look a little weird with the hair physics and everything. But in My Career, it is interesting. There's a whole lot of content. There's various side quests. They try to make it into kind of like a bit of an RPG in some way. But what really turned me off, again, was the promos. I think they just went way too long. The dialogue was kind of mundane. But you know what? At least you could pick what you want to say. At least you can dictate your own direction. In my case, I got to the NXT Championship, and I'm making my way to the main roster, which is pretty freaking awesome. On the flip side, those frame rate issues for a AAA game that's been around for a while with an established publisher and developer are pretty inexcusable. I don't care if it was early access. I don't care if it was released 4 days ahead of time, 400 days ahead of time. When you release a game that's supposedly a finished product, that screen tearing, these frame rate issues are unacceptable. Thankfully, I didn't run into too many frame rate issues in the ring. Sort of. Now, when I played Universe Mode, I was excited. I got to do the usual. Build different feuds, customize championships, customize who's my current champion. I split up American Alpha because in real life, of course, they're split up, and Jason Jordan is Kurt Angle's not-so-legitimate son. And I even booked a Battle Royal, which I was super-duper excited about. But what happened? When I had 8 superstars in the ring, it looked weird. The ring looked shaky. It was very, very janky. I didn't have any screen tearing per se, but it was just kind of slow and plodding. And I'm not going to lie, it did not seem like that was going at 30 frames per second. And the other thing too, the AI for it being supposedly improved, not that great. Now, when you're wrestling the AI yourself, it's fine. But when you're somebody like me that unfortunately got eliminated in the Battle Royal and have to wait for these 2 John Cena creeps to finish each other off, it takes a while. And always it take a while, you have periods where they just look at each other and stare at each other and just wait. And then John Cena goes to the top rope and he just waits. And then he comes down. Just, awkward stuff like that. And then after John Cena wins, you'll see in the bottom left corner of your screen right there, there's some weird stuff going on with like Booker T and Batista and Kurt Angle. And yeah, I don't want to know what's going on there, but it looks pretty damn weird. What's also pretty damn weird and annoying in Universe Mode and in general in this game, as I mentioned before, the promos. They're cool at first. You can skip over them here and there. But this promo segment with Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt that I had in Universe Mode would just not end. And somehow, some way, Bray Wyatt won. I don't care if you like Roman Reigns or not. Nobody's losing a promo battle to Bray Wyatt in 2017, and I'm sure not in 2018. Also, as you can see, the verbiage with both guys is pretty unrealistic compared to their characters. I mean, I guess Bray Wyatt's gimmick is not making any sense anyway, but Roman Reigns, some of the things they said was wacky. If you confront Triple H in My Career Mode, he says, "I'll just say this one time, suck it." Just so awkward. Really, it is. And look, I respect the fact that they added this a couple years back, and this is a new aspect for fans to play around with and everything, and it's kind of funny to see the different captions, and it's gone viral. But ultimately, there's major room for improvement. Speaking of dialogue, same thing with the commentary as it is every year. It is dull. It is repetitive. It's Michael Cole. I got nothing against Michael Cole. He's a great real-life broadcaster, but he's everywhere. We've heard him for years. Would it really have killed them to put Tom Phillips on the commentary tracks for NXT? And it would have really killed 2K to have Corey Graves sound like he has a pulse. Because he sounds so unbelievably neutered in this game. It's a lot like JBL. One of the complaints about JBL is he didn't sound like JBL in the game. What a great victory. Tonight the lights are on bright. It was such a mild JBL. Say what you want about JBL, but there was such a mild JBL compared to the guy we got on TV. And I feel like that's the same thing for Corey Graves. There's no back and forth banter like there is on Monday Night Raw or on SmackDown with Byron Saxton and Graves. I mean, there's a little bit of it, but it is an unbelievably tame version. And compared to, say, EA UFC that had Mike Goldberg and Joe Rogan, who were repetitive over time, but actually sounded like human beings and they were genuinely excited to watch what they were seeing, it is a huge, stark contrast. On the bright side, the gameplay is still pretty easy to get a hang of, and now they improved the submission system, which was one of my least favorite aspects of the game. Before, you had to use the right stick, and you could kind of customize it, but now they fully embraced the 2 options where you got to use the right stick, or you can use the 4 buttons on your controller. The other cool thing is when somebody tries to slam you against a turnbuckle, you can press circle, and if you press it enough times, you'll be able to break out and kick that person's butt and make them pay. You also have some more customized controls for Battle Royals. So those are minor but nice little touches in my humble opinion. The reversal system at times, depending on your difficulty level, is still a hit or miss, and I think it's just something you got to get a feel for. Compared to last year's game, I felt last year was a little bit smoother, but perhaps I just got to get used to it and keep playing this game more over time. Please keep in mind, at the time we got this review copy of WWE 2K18, the servers were not properly populated, so we will have a separate video for online modes.
And from Washington, D.C., weighing in at 290 pounds, Batista!
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the Animal, Batista!
And Michael, there may be no taming this animal here tonight.
So what's the verdict, folks? Graphics. I have to give this game a 7. Some people may not like that because aesthetically, some of these wrestlers' facials look great. Their physiques look great, like Seth Rollins and all these other guys. But I'm sorry. When you're a AAA game in 2017, screen tearing, having serious frame rate issues, having backstage interactions that look like something out of SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, I'm sorry, but I gotta deduct a couple points for that. Now, if they release a patch, or 2, or 3, and are able to correct these issues upon launch or soon after, I'll be happy. But at the moment, I'm reviewing what I got, and that score still stands. Content, I give WWE 2K18 a 9. Even with my issues with my career mode and the repetitive universe mode, there is still a ton to do. If you're a wrestling fan or a prospective wrestling fan or somebody that's just looking for a fun game that combines sports and entertainment, which WWE is, this is definitely the game for you. And even if, for whatever reason, universe mode and my career mode don't do it for you, well, you always have community creations where you could go online and download various user creations. Maybe you want to download the Young Bucks or Kenny Omega, or maybe a new WWE superstar that just debuted that wasn't able to be added to the game on time. You can do that. There's so much you could do. You can literally, in this game, create your own WWE universe. In the future, I would really appreciate them adding a 2K Showcase mode again right out of the box. Speaking of boxes, I also wasn't feeling the loot boxes, which you can open and unlock different items in the creation suite and in my career and my player. But the bright side is, unlike a lot of these other games, you can actually earn virtual currency and buy them with virtual currency. I didn't find this as abrasive as NBA 2K or the Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta from what I've seen so far. So it's not pay to win, but it's still early. We'll see. I'm sure they'll be selling virtual currency packs online, similar to NBA 2K, similar to what GTA does with their respective currency in game, which not a lot of people are a fan of. But if you have a balance and it doesn't become pay to win, hey, I'm fine with it. Gameplay, I give WWE 2K18 an 8. This is a fun game to play once you get the hang of it, but there are still issues when it comes to multiple superstars in the ring. And until they fix that, until they correct some of the awkwardness with the AI, I think an 8 is where this game should be at when it comes to gameplay. Some expert gamers might get annoyed with that, but you got to remember, this isn't just for returning WWE 2K gamers. This is supposed to attract brand new gamers, a new generation of WWE gamers. Hey, the more people that play WWE 2K, the better. It's a hell of a lot more fun when people are uploading community creations and online having a great time enjoying professional wrestling in video game form. Overall, TSC Gaming gives WWE 2K18 on PS4 an 8 out of 10. For more information on WWE 2K18, as well as more WWE 2K18 videos, including our in-depth My Player and Online Modes review, please subscribe to TSC Gaming. Click that subscribe button, enable notifications. If you enjoyed this review, please click like, share, take care, and as always, everybody, enjoy the games.
Come into this match incredibly hungry to prove their dominance here tonight. But as we all know, only one will walk away with their arm raised in victory.
From where I sit, he certainly seems more focused than perhaps I've ever seen him.
He's got one tall task ahead of him here, that's for sure.